Faith Alston and Mariah Frazier after today's win against South Alabama, and we will open it up for questions.
Hey guys, Zach Smith, High Country Sports. Great way to bounce back. What's the importance of this win going forward?
I mean, the importance coming into today was really come back, like a bounce back type of game. Like come back, beat us, wash that loss behind us. But we were talking in the locker room like this is the standard, regardless of what type of team it is, who we're playing, the name of the team, the name of the conference. Whoever it is, we step on the floor and we treat it like it's a playoff game, like we're playing only one game and that's it. So I think that's really important to carry on throughout the season. And if we do that, I mean, there's no difference that we should be able to do what we did today every single game that we play.
What was it like seeing some of your teammates that don't get as much playing time, seeing them get to go out on the court?
It was really joyful to see them actually go out there because they work really hard in practice. They make sure that we're prepared for the game. So them getting that reward today, being able to play was just like really great. So shout out to everybody that got in. It was a great team win for sure.
And the last one seemed like energy, not just on the floor but on the bench. The entire game was just really high. What how important is that for you guys?
I mean, that's something that we talked about the other day following the loss. It's so important. Like when you're on the court, you're giving everything you have, but to know that you see the energy and everybody's engaged on the bench, it gives you another level to where you're not tired. You don't want to come out the game. Like you want to be on the bench. Like you want to get all these other people into the game, and just having that type of energy, it really keeps you going on the court. I mean, I can't really speak for Mo, but for me, that's like my favorite part about playing basketball. Not just being on the court and playing, but about seeing the team on the bench, their support, their energy, and just cheering everybody on no matter who's on the floor.
To piggyback off of this last question, talk about the energy both mainly on the offense and defensive side, even on the bench. Like how much do y'all feed off that energy during a game whenever you're playing defense and on offense, and seeing your teammates on the bench who don't get to play as much? How much do you feed off that energy during a game?
We feed off it greatly. Like if we're not going to have it at home, we're definitely not going to have it away when we don't have really any fans. So we definitely got to keep the energy high at home especially. And yeah, I think everybody on the court really gets energy from the bench, especially me, especially on defense. If I get a stop and I see the bench get up, I'm hyped for the next 3 or 4 plays. So, I just love the bench energy today. It was amazing.
And then you guys forced them over to 18 turnovers. You know, going more off on the energy all over the on the defensive side of the ball. Like, was that part of the game plan today? Was being more aggressive and getting in the passing lanes and forcing steals today?
Oh, absolutely. Like we take a huge pride in defense, getting steals, getting stops, boxing out, holding them to one neutral shot. Like it's a big part of our identity. We say pace and pressure, and that pressure comes from the defensive side, and then we turn it into pressure on the offensive side in transition points. But we rely greatly and thrive greatly on like those steals, those stops, and defense is just a huge thing that we take pride in.
Any further questions? Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Of course. Thank y'all.
All right. We've got head coach Angel Elderkin after today's win against South Alabama. Coach, if you want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of the way that our team responded. You know, after Thursday's game, we know that in the Sun Belt it's a very quick turnaround. But Friday was a day where we had to kind of, like Faith said, we had to wash out Thursday. We had to talk about it. We had to unpack it. We had a lot of players in the room take ownership. And I knew in that moment, if they took ownership, then we could have a better performance today. And that's what you saw from our team. You know, somebody like Jamani Ingram started the game much better than she played the other day. I mean, I can go down the list, but at the end of the day, when you watch App State basketball, there's a bus driver, and it's Faith Alston. And we go as she goes. She plays with so much passion and so much energy, and our team just thrives. And everybody talks about her points. And, yes, she had a 30-point game, and it's exceptional. But her leadership in the huddles, her leadership on the floor, that's what was truly exceptional, and that's what got us this big victory today.
Awesome. We will open it up for questions.
Coach Zach Smith, High Country Sports. Excuse me. So after Thursday, you talked about playing your brand of basketball. Tonight, that was pretty clearly in full effect. What does this win mean for you guys?
I think it's something that we can show the difference of Thursday to Saturday in two phases. So we chart energy-giving behaviors during the games. And I just know that we had a lot more today than we did Thursday. Another thing Faith alluded to, our identity is pace and pressure. And so today we ran the floor. On Thursday, we did not run the floor. We did not get out and transition, so we were held to a very low point total. So, just telling our players, teams are going to really pack it in on us. And so we have to get out and transition. We have to turn people over. And I just think that they understood what we didn't do, and they came out and did what we should do. And so I'm just really proud and just really, we got to take this now, and I think we just have to build and continue to grow. It's still early January, and there's still a ton of basketball left.
So you got a lot of younger players that might not see the floor as much, and they're late. What does that mean for you and the team? It's awesome, and I think that's what my expectation would be. When we opened up the Sun Belt on the road at Louisiana, we had a big half, and then we turned around and did not execute in the second half. So we just continue to challenge them so some of those players could play, because every day they come into practice and they prepare our team. And so you want to get them minutes. And so I thought that was valuable. I also would be remiss if I didn't just talk about the value of Shay and Zeta and Sam today. I thought they came in and they were able to keep the momentum of our first group, and there was never a drop off. So I thought they contributed to that as well. So you did mention Faith in your opening statement. The end of the first, end of the second kind of seemed like the Faith Alston show. What does that mean that you can get that scoring output from her?
It's great. Again, I don't think we can count night in and night out on 30 points, but we can count night in and night out on her effort and execution. But to see her make those kind of plays, when we started the third quarter, it was like, Faith, put this game away. And she kind of took that to heart. And, the other day, she was like, I wasn't myself. And when a player can recognize I'm not myself and then come in the next day and be themselves, I think that is what you love as a coach. You didn't have to tell her. She was self-aware and she made the change. But she's just having just a great senior year. I can't say enough about her.
Coach, first off, congratulations on a huge win today. Your players' energy today on the court, on both ends, offense, defense, and on the bench, just how much does that make you happy, and how much do you try to feed off that energy as a coach during a game?
Yeah, it was electric, and I kind of told them there's this a feeling that you have as a coach, and we didn't have it on Thursday, and we need it. We thrive off of energy. We are a high energy team. We're an emotional team, and it's been tough. It's challenging this year, as you guys know. The point of emphasis for the referees is bench decorum. So I have that little stool, and believe me, I don't like sitting there. But they're always like, you're like a sixth player playing defense. So I've tried to control myself a little bit this year. And today I was like, we need some juice. We got to bring the juice. And I challenged the bench. I was like, let's get a warning for being up. Let's get a warning for being on the court, because I'd rather have to tone you guys down than to ask you, come on, bring the energy, bring the energy. So I think we all feed off each other, especially when it's positive.
In between Thursday's game and today's game, you turned both your opponents over a total of 44 times. How much emphasis do you put on trying to turn teams over, get out in transition, and capitalize on those transition points?
A ton. That's our pace. That's our pressure. But I think the challenge today was when we turn people over, let's finish. Thursday night, anytime we turned somebody over, we were missing the layups, and those ended up being when you talk about energy, it deflated our energy, and then it's it's harder to score. And so just really challenge them that we're working really hard on defense. We're forcing the shots we want. We're turning people over. Now let's reward ourselves with finishing on the other end.
And then lastly, you talk so much about how Faith is your bus driver for this team, and you go as she goes. Outside of Faith, who do you look for, bench other role players to bring more of that energy when she's, say, not having a good day today?
That's a really good question. And I feel as though when Emily was healthy, we kind of had both of them. but like Faith is obviously more energetic, but Emily's kind of the calm leader. And so now I would say it's a little bit more of a collective effort. Mariah does it in spurts. Ryland's kind of like that calming force for us. No one quite has what Faith has, but I think collectively, and that was something I spoke to the team about, like she needs us too. Like if she's struggling, we got to pick her up. But she's definitely a special player. And I will tell you guys this, as a freshman, it was her COVID year, and today they broke it back out. And it's the only reason I'm telling the story. She would be on the bench, and the bench was all separated, and she had this white towel. And she just swung this towel, boy. Like, it was nonstop, right? And a lot of, like, my family and friends would say, I want my kid to come watch Faith, how she is on the bench, because that's just incredible. So today they pulled out the white towel. So I'm like, they do listen to me every now and then. But, energy is just a tough thing, and people are all wired different. But I think our team, when we're together collectively, we can do some special things.
Awesome. Any further questions? Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.